Hello? Hello?
Hi, teacher.
Hi, Chi. How are you?
I'm fine.
You fine? Um, did you go to school?
Yes.
Oh, so how is school?
That
How is school?
how is it?
How's school today?
Normal.
Normal.
Yes.
Okay. So I'm happy that you're back to normal already in your country. All right. So um okay, are you ready for our class tonight, Chi?
Yes.
Okay. We are using lesson 1, okay, from the past. This is a reading material, okay? A reading
Okay.
material from the past. And then we are going to talk about or read about the Ford Model T.
I can see.
Oh, wait. Let me share the slide again. Can you see it now?
Yes.
All right. Now, our topic is from the past, and the title of the story that we are going to read tonight is The Ford Model T. Okay, but before that, can you read the new words in the screen?
Before.
A Ford, all right?
Before.
Car makers
Car makers.
or car makers.
Car makers.
Beyond,
Beyond.
crank,
Crank.
method,
Method.
belt,
Belt.
interchangeable.
Interchangeable.
All right, good job. Now let's proceed to the next slide. Handmade,
Handmade.
vehicle,
Vehicle.
vehicle,
Vehicle.
kill, vehicle.
Vehicle. Vehicle. Vehicle.
Vehicle.
Vehicle.
Okay.
Vehicle.
Drop,
Drop.
production,
Production.
wages,
Wages.
industry,
Industry.
factory,
Factory.
valuable.
Valuable.
All right. Now let's proceed to the next slide. We are going to read the story of the Ford Model T. Okay.
Okay.
I will read the first paragraph. Henry Ford decided to build a family car that working people could afford. His company first built the Model T in 1908. Like other car new makers, Ford had made cars for rich, selling as high as $2,800. This was well beyond the money a regular American family could afford to pay for a car. The Model T was different. It was the first car that middle class families could afford to buy. In 1908, it was priced at $825. However, by 1924, the Model T sold for only $260. Okay, so this is the history of the Ford model. Okay, now the owner, okay, is decided to build a family car. It's Henry Ford. He is the one who decided to build a family car that working people could afford. It means the people who can afford to buy that car is only those people who are working or the people who has work. Okay? And then
Okay.
his company first built the Model T in 1908. Like other new car makers, Ford had made cars for the rich. Okay, they sold it at around $2,800, as high as that price, and then this is well beyond the money of a regular American family could afford to pay a car. Okay, so that's the the car for the rich. Okay, but the Model T was different. It was the first car for the middle class families could afford to buy. So meaning the people who are working can afford to buy it. During 1908, it was priced at $825 only. But during 1924, it was sold for only $260. So meaning Henry Ford is selling cars to the rich first. Okay, he made cars for the rich only. But uh, when he built the Model T, it is different because the working people or the middle class can afford to buy a car now if they will buy the Model T. Okay, so let's continue the story, Chi. I want you to continue read the story and take note. Okay, I will put a line to the words that you mispronounce. Okay.
Okay. The Model T weighed 1,200 pounds. It carried a 10-gallon gas tank, and it had to be cracked to start in, in
Engine.
engine. So 15 million Model Ts between 1908 and 1927. Ford's great success was based on his use of special methods, whom each worker placed just one part on each car. The car traveled along a moving belt with just one job for each factory worker. This was very different from the handmade cars built in the early 1900s.
1900s.
1900. Ford also used interchangeable parts. This means that any in inside or with, for example, fit on any vehicle.
Okay. So the Model T weighed 1,200 pounds. It carried a 10-gallon gas tank and it had to be cranked. Okay, repeat after me, cranked,
Crank
cranked, okay, to start the engine. Do you know what is
in,
cranked? Do you know what is cranked, Chi? Have you seen a motorcycle which is not automatically start when you press the hand, I don't know how to say it. You will crank it using your feet. Okay, or another
okay.
one. If you are, have you seen a boat when they started the engine? They will use as a rope to crank their engine for the boat.
No.
No? Okay, wait. I'm going to send the meaning. Wait for me. Okay. That's the meaning of the word cranked. You need to bend in order to start the engine. And then Ford sold 15 million Model Ts between 1908 and 1927. Ford's great success was based on his use of special methods, home each worker placed just one part of each car. The car traveled along a moving belt with just one job for each factory worker. This was very different from the handmade cars built in the early 1900s. Ford also used interchangeable parts. This means that any engine or wheel, for example, fit on any vehicle. Okay, so that's what the Model T different. Okay, because Henry Ford used interchangeable parts. For example, the engine or the wheel. Okay, they can fit to any vehicle. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Now let's proceed. Can you continue reading the story?
The prices of Ford's Model T dropped because of his less costly methods of production. He raised his workers' wages. Their lowest wage doubled to $5 a day. The higher pay pushed the upper crowd out many industries. This allowed workers in many factories to be able to afford to buy the Model T for 20 million, at least with a single car and a single idea. What ideas do you have? They may be just viable.
All right, very good. Now can you repeat after me, Chi? This is read as dropped.
Rough,
Dropped. Okay, past form
rough,
of word drop. Now this is raised.
race,
Raised. And this is
race,
lives.
lies.
All right. Million of lives. Okay. Now, the prices of Ford's Model T dropped because of his less costly methods of production. He raised his workers' wages. Okay. Their lowest wage doubled to $5 a day. The higher pay pushed up pay throughout many industries. This allowed workers in many factories to be able to afford to buy the Model T. Ford changed millions of lives with a single car and a single idea. Okay. And Henry Ford asked, "What ideas do you have? They may be just valuable." Okay. So let's continue now, Chi. Do you understand the story?
Oh,
Do you understand the story?
mm,
Mm.
oh, and brief forecast.
Yeah. Okay. Let's read the story again. Okay. Please repeat after me. All right. Okay. Repeat after me. Okay. Let's read the story again, Chi. Okay. And repeat after me. Henry Ford
Henry,
decided to build a family car that working people could afford.
his company first built the Model T in 1908.
Like other new car makers, Ford had made cars for the rich. selling as high as $2,800.
This was well beyond the money a regular American family could afford to pay for a car.
The Model T was different. It was the first car that middle class families could afford to buy.
Mm. In 1908, it was priced at a hungry
$825.
$25.
However, by 1924, the Model T sold for only $260. Okay, this is read as priced. Priced.
Right.
Okay, remember that.
Right.
Okay. Now, okay, I have a question for you, Chi, based on this paragraph. Okay. Um, what is the price of the cars that is made for the rich?
$2,800.
All right, that's correct. And what is the price of the Model T in 1908?
Mm, 90, mm, $825.
All right. And by the year 1924, what is the price of the Model T?
Only $260.
Okay, good job. Now, let's proceed to the next paragraph. Repeat after me. Okay, let's do a role play. After every period, okay, after every sentence, let's interchange. Now, the Model T weighed 1,200 pounds.
It carried a 10-gallon gas tank, and it had to be cracked to start the
Engine.
engine.
It's engine, okay? Uh, Ford sold 15 million Model Ts between 1908 and 1927.
Ford's great success was based, based on his use of special methods, whom each worker placed just one part on each car.
The car traveled along a moving belt with just one job for each factory worker.
This was very different from the handmade cars built in the early 1000s.
Okay, you can also say 1900s, check. Okay. Ford also used interchangeable parts.
This means that any engine or wheel, for example, fit on any vehicle.
All right, vehicle. Good job. Now, the prices of Ford's Model T dropped because of his less costly methods of production.
He raised he raised his workers' wages.
Their lowest wage doubled to $5 a day.
The higher pay pushed up pay throughout many industries.
This allowed workers in many factories to be able to afford to buy the Model T. And the Model T Ford changed millions of lives with a single car and single idea.
What ideas do you have? They may be just as valuable.
Valuable. All right. Now, this time, Chi, we will proceed to the next slide, okay? Before we do the exercise, let's use this structure first, okay? You're going to make a sentence using decide to and then add the verb, okay? Like, I decide to study. I decide to sleep. Mm-hmm. Okay, can you give me a sentence using decide to, and then you're going to add the verb.
I decide to take a shower.
All right, that's nice. Now, I decide to go to university this year. That's an example. Now, this time, make a sentence using be able to, and then use this verb, add the verb. Here's an example. He is able to help me study English.
December,
Able to, and then add the verb. Like the example, able to. Okay, here's able to, and then his verb is help.
and able to row supermarket along.
All right, he is able to go to supermarket. All right, now let's proceed to the next slide. Okay, this is the exercise based on the story. Okay, these are questions based on the story, the Ford Model T. Now, which of these following was a special job in a factory making the Model T? Is it putting an entire engine together, placing a lift rear wheel on an aid, tightening a nut on a wheel, or both B and C?
B and C. D.
Letter D. D?
Yes.
All right, that's correct. Okay. Placing lift rear wheel on an aid and then tightening a nut on the wheel. Now, how many mm, how many days would a worker have to work to afford the cheapest Model T? Because in the story, okay, their salary is $5 a day. And the price is, what's the price of the Model T? It's $260. So how many days would a worker have to work to afford the cheapest Model T?
B.
B. Can you encircle your answer, G?
Okay.
Letter B. Oh no, it's 52. It's 52. Okay, let's try. I'll try to compute it. Wait.
Okay.
52 times $5. All right. They need to work for 52 days in order to afford the the Model T, which is $260. Okay. Try multiply the 52 by $5 because their salary is $5 a day. That's why 52 times $5, they can buy the Model T car. Okay. That's why 52 is the correct answer. Now, let's proceed to question number 3. Which of these is an accomplishment of Henry Ford? Is it creating an inexpensive car, cutting wages in the auto industry, raising wages in the auto industry, or both A and C?
B.
Okay, your answer is letter D, and that is correct. Okay, Henry Ford creates an expensive car, and then he also raised the wages in the auto industry. That's right. Now, let's proceed to question number 4. Which of these facts would be relevant to the passage?
I.
Many business owners were angry when Ford raised wages. It's all of the above, okay? It's true that many inn owners were angry when Ford raised the wages, and then when the Model T came in both car and truck styles, women often cracked the Model T to get it started, and that is all of the above. Now, question number 5. When was the Model T first built?
In 1908.
All right, in 1908. Very good, G. Now, how many Model Ts was sold between 1908 and 1927?
C.
It's 15 million. All right, that's correct. Good job. Now, what is interchangeable parts?
Mm,
It's on the story.
for also use interchangeable part.
Yes,
This means
this means that
any engine will, for example, fit on any
that's
vehicle.
right. That's right. This means that any engine or wheel, for example, fit on any vehicle. Good job. Okay. Now, why did the prices of Ford's Model T drop?
Because of his less costly methods of production.
Good job. The prices of Ford's Model T dropped because of his less costly methods of production. Good job, Chi. Now, question number 8. What is the lowest wage for his workers per day?
Weigh double to $5 a day.
All right, $5 a day. Now, what is the weight of the Model T? What is the weight of the Model T?
Hmm, I don't know.
It's in the story. You read it. I'll give you a clue. It's in the second paragraph.
10 years.
The Model T weight.
Hmm,
Second paragraph.
10 years. Yes.
Look here.
Wait. Oh,
The Model T weight
one
1,200
one 200 pounds.
pounds. All right. Now, last question. Why the Model T was different?
This was very different from the handmade cars built in the early 1900s.
Okay. The Model T was different
Because handmade car,
because it was the first car that middle class families could afford to buy. That's why the Model T was different, right? Because Henry Ford selling car for the rich only, and um those who can afford it is those person who are working. So that's why the Model T was different, because it was the first car that the middle class families could afford to buy. And also the price is $260 only. So that's why when he raised the wages of the employees, that's why many middle class families buy the or bought the Model T car. Okay.
okay.
All right, Chi. We are now done with our class. I'll see you again on our next class is Sunday, right?
Yes, Sunday.
All right, because you will be learning with me twice a week only. All right, see you on Sunday, Chi. Our class is 9 p.m. Okay?
Okay,
All right. But if you have free time earlier than 9, just tell me. Okay?
okay,
All right. Bye bye, Chi. See you again on Sunday. Good night.
okay. Good night.
Good night.